In today's class, we're going to go over simultaneous linear equation. What do we mean by simultaneous linear equation? Simultaneous linear equation is a pair of linear equation occurring together. You understand? Simultaneous linear equation is a pair of linear equation occurring together. You see, the reason why we call it simultaneous is because we have two equations and these two equations are occurring together. Okay, now in our previous class we learned about linear equation. Linear equation is an equation where the highest power of the unknown is 1. You understand? Linear equation is a type of equation where the highest power of the unknown is 1. So when we are talking about simultaneous linear equation, we have two equations with two unknown which the highest power of the unknown is what? 1. Do you understand? Okay, simultaneous linear equation can be solved using elimination method or substitution method. Okay, now we are going to start with the elimination method. Please, I want you to pay attention. Okay, here we have example 1. You are asked to solve for the value of x and y. Okay, you can see that we have two unknown. You understand? This equation consists of a pair of equation with two unknown. You understand? That is why we call it simultaneous linear equation. Linear equation in the sense that the highest power of the unknown is what? 1. You understand? Okay, now how do we solve this equation using the elimination method? You see, we are going to take it step by step, so I need you to pay attention. Okay, see, the first step here is that we have to know the unknown that we want to eliminate. Okay, we have two unknown. We have x and y. Now, which unknown should we eliminate? You understand? That is the first step. Should we eliminate x or should we eliminate y? In this case, I'm going to be eliminating x. You understand? Now, having known the unknown that you want to eliminate, the next step is that you have to make the coefficient of this unknown, you have to make it equal in both equations. Okay, let us call this equation 1 and let us call this equation 2. Do you understand? Now you have known the unknown that you want to eliminate, which is x. Now the next step is that you have to make the coefficient of this unknown to be the same in both equations. See, you can see the coefficient of x in equation 1 is what? 1. The coefficient of x in equation 2 is what? 1. So I'm done with that. You see, you can be given equation which the unknown is the same. So, which the coefficient of the unknown in both equations that you want to eliminate is the same. And the example of this case is this. Since I want to eliminate x, you can see that the coefficient of it are already the same. So there is no need. Now, look at this. I have positive 1 here. I have positive 1 here. Though invisible, you understand? The 1 is invisible. But I know that 1x is also the same thing as what? X. You understand? Now, the next step is that I'm going to subtract equation 2 from equation 1. Do you understand? I'm going to subtract equation 2 from equation 1. The reason I'm subtracting in this case is because the unknown that I want to eliminate are both positive. You understand? They are both positive. Assuming that this x is positive and this x is negative, I'm going to add it. Now, because I'm having positive x here, I'm going to subtract this equation from this equation. Do you understand? If you don't understand, listen to the explanation again. The first step is that you have to know the unknown that you want to eliminate. In this case, I want to eliminate x. You understand? Now, you have to check if the coefficient of x in both equations is the same. Of course, they are. I'm having positive 1x here and I'm having positive 1x here. So the coefficient is the same. If they are not the same, I'm going to do something to them. You understand? I'm going to make sure that they are the same before I can proceed. Now, because they are the same and I have positive x, positive 1x, positive 1x. Now, if I add both equations, s will not be eliminated. Now, I'm going to subtract because I'm having positive and positive. You understand? So, pay attention. For this, I'm going to have x minus x plus 2y minus 3y. You understand? I'm subtracting this equation from this equation. Okay, is equals to 5 minus 8. Do you understand? Please, if you don't understand, reverse the video and watch it again. X minus x, that is this x minus x, 2 plus 2y minus positive 3y. You see, plus 2y minus positive 3y I'm still going to have plus 2y minus 3y. You understand? In our previous class, in algebraic process, I taught you the product of signs. You understand? When we multiply a negative number and a positive number together, we're going to have what? A negative number. You understand? That's how I got this. Okay? So minus times plus, that is what? Minus. That's how I got arrive at negative 3y. Do you understand? Okay, x minus x is what? 0. So I'm going to have 2y minus 3y. 2y minus 3y will give me what? Negative 1y. And negative 1y is also the same thing as what? Negative y. Do you understand? So it's equals to 5 minus 8. 5 minus 8 will give me negative 3. So I'm going to have negative 3. So you can divide both sides by what? Negative 1 over negative 1 over negative 1. I'm going to have y is equals to what? 3. You understand? So that is the value of y. Do you understand? Okay, now we can now solve for the value of x since we have gotten the value of y. How do we get the value of x? All we have to do is that we have to substitute the value of y, which is 3, into any of this equation. Okay, now we have to substitute the value of y into any of this equation, either equation 1 or equation 3. Either equation 1 or equation 2. Now, I want to ask you, which equation do you desire to know? You can choose any. In this case, I'm going to choose equation 2, okay? So let's substitute. Equation 2 is what? X plus 3y is equals to 8. Now, when y is 3, I'm going to have x plus 3 into bracket 3 is equals to 8. Okay? X plus 9 is equals to 8. Therefore, x is equals to 8 minus 9. 8 minus 9, this is negative 1. Do you understand? So y is 3 and x is negative 1. Do you understand? The solution to this simultaneous equation is that x is equals y is equals to 3 and x is equals to negative 1. Y is equals to 3 and x is equals to negative 1. I'm very sure you understand. If you understand, reverse the video and watch it again. Okay, now this is elimination method. Okay, now let us check substitution method. Okay, now let us use substitution method to solve this equation. You see, I want to take note of something. When we use elimination method, we got the value of y as 3 and the value of x as what? Negative 1. Now let's use substitution method. Pay attention. Okay, this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. In substitution method, all you have to do is that you first have to make one of the unknown the subject of the relation in any of the equation. Do you understand? See, pay attention. This is the first step. We have two unknown. You understand? We have x and y as the unknown. Now, in substitution method, you have to make one of the unknown in any of the equation the subject of the relation. The subject of the relation that is the subject of the formula. You understand? So now, which unknown should we make the subject of the relation? X is better, you understand, because x does not have any coefficient. X is only having 1 as its coefficient. In this case, I'm going to use equation 2. Do you understand? Okay, equation 2 is x plus 3y is equals to 8. Now, I'm going to make x the subject of the relation. If I want to make x the subject of the relation, I'm going to have x is equals to 8 minus 3y, because this 3y will goes to the other side of the equation. Do you understand? Okay, having make x the subject of the relation in equation 2, I'm going to substitute the value of x into the first equation. Do you understand? Okay, so the first equation is what? X plus 2y equals to 5. Now, when x is equals to 8 minus 3y, okay? So I'm going to have 8 minus 3y. This is equation 2, okay? This is equation 1, sorry. You know, I make x the subject of the relation in equation 2, which is what? X is equals to 8 minus 3y. Now, I'm going to substitute the value of x as 8 minus 3y into equation 1, okay? So that's why I have 8 minus 3y instead of x. I have 8 minus 3y plus 2y is equals to 5. Do you understand? Now, let's proceed to solve for the value of y, okay? Negative 3y plus 2y. Okay, let's take it step by step. Negative 3y plus 2y is equals to 5 minus 8. Negative 3y plus 2y, I'm going to have negative y is equals to 5 minus 8 will give me what? Negative 3. Divide both by negative 1. This over negative 1. Y will be equals to 3. Do you understand? Okay? This is the same as what we get when we use elimination method. Okay, so y is equals to 3. Now, we've known that y is equals to 3. We can easily solve for the value of x by substituting it into any of the equation that we have. We can substitute it into equation 1 or equation 2. You understand? In this case, I'm going to use equation 1. So I'm going to have, let me just move this. X plus 2y is equals to 5. So x plus 2 into bracket 3 is equals to 5. Because y is now equals to 3. So I'm going to have x plus 6 is equals to 5. X is equals to 5 minus 6. X is equals to negative 1. You understand? This is also the same thing as what we get when we use the elimination method. Do you understand? So now, if you are happy with any method that you use to solve this pair of simultaneous equation, you must have the same answer, be it substitution method or elimination method. Do you understand? So let's have another work example. Example 2. We are asked to solve the simultaneous equation x plus y is equals to 3 and 3x minus y is equals to 1. We are going to use the elimination method to solve this equation. So I want you to pay attention. You see, I'm very sure you remember the first step. The first step is to identify the unknown that you want to eliminate in either of these. In both equations now. We have two unknowns. We have x and y. We have x and we have y in this equation. Which unknown should we eliminate? In this case, y is easy to eliminate. You understand? Y is easy to eliminate because the coefficients are already the same. You understand? The coefficient, the coefficient of y in equation 1 is what? 1. The coefficient of y in equation 2 is what? Negative 1. You understand? So, though the signs are not the same, but the coefficients are already the same. So, y is easy to eliminate. Do you understand? So, in this case now, I can easily add both equations. Okay? This is equation 1 and this is equation 2. I can easily add both equations. When I add both equations, I'm going to eliminate y because they have different signs. Remember, in the previous question that we solved, the value of x, the x that we eliminate doesn't have the they didn't have different sign. They have the same sign, which is positive and positive. Now, because we have the same we have different sign for the coefficient of value of y, which are the same in both equations, we are going to add both equations. Do you understand? The coefficient of y in equation 1 is positive 1. The coefficient of y in equation 2 is what? Negative 1. So if I add both equations, I will eliminate the value of y. Do you understand? That's why I told you there is a case in which we add and there is another case in which we subtract. You understand? We add when the coefficient of the unknown that we want to eliminate in both equations are different. You understand? Okay, the sign that the coefficient of the unknown that we want to eliminate in both equations are different. We are going to add it. You understand? Please pay attention. We add when the sign of the coefficient of the unknown that we want to eliminate in both equations are different. You understand? We add. Okay? Now, when we have the same coefficient with the same sign, we are going to subtract. You understand? Please pay attention. We add when the coefficient of the unknown that we want to eliminate, when the signs are different, we are going to add both equations. But when the signs are the same, we are going to subtract. Do you understand? Now, in this case, we want to eliminate y, but the sign of the coefficient of y in both equations are different. In this case, we are going to add both equations. You understand? So, in this case, I'm going to have, let me just add a positive sign here. I'm going to have x plus 3x, are you paying attention? Plus y, which is this, minus y, okay? Because plus times minus will give me what? Minus, okay? So I'm going to have 3 plus 1 equals to 3 plus 1. Do you understand? Please pay attention. X plus 3x, this is it. X plus 3x, that's x plus 3x. Plus y, plus minus y. Plus y, plus minus y. I'm going to have plus y, plus times minus will give me minus. You understand? So that's why I have plus y minus y. Do you understand? And the right hand side of both equations, 3 plus 1. I got what? 3 plus 1. Do you understand? Okay, let's proceed. I'm going to have 4x is equals to, now, plus y minus y. That is what? 0. Okay, so I'm going to have 4y is equals to 4. Because 3 plus 1 will give me what? 4. Now, divide both sides by 4. this over 4, I'm going to have x is equals to what? 1. Do you understand? Now, having gotten the value of x as 1, we can easily get the value of y. You understand? All I need to do is to substitute the value of y, the value of x as 1 into any of the equation. Now let us use equation 1. Since x plus y, which is equation 1 now, x plus y is equals to 3. Now x is 1, so I'm going to have 1 plus y is equals to 3. Y will be equals to 3 minus 1. Y is equals to 2. Do you understand? So the value of x and y is 1 and 2 respectively. Do you understand? Okay. Now let us have another work example. Make sure you are getting the solution to each question. Okay. If you didn't understand, reverse the video and listen to the explanation again. Okay. Now we have 3p plus 2q is equals to 7 and 4p plus 3q is equals to 10. We are asked to solve for the value of p and q. You can see now this one is also a simultaneous equation. Okay. Now this one I want to pay attention. Okay, I need your attention. See, this one is different from the previous example that we learned because the coefficient of the unknown is not uniform. You understand? None of the coefficient of the unknown is uniform. Let me show you. You can see that in this one the coefficient is uniform, though the signs are different. You understand? The coefficient of y here, the coefficient of y in equation 1 and equation 2 is uniform. That is, they are the same, even though the signs are different. And if you look at the previous example that we had, the coefficient of x is the same and the sign is also the same. Now here, the coefficient of none of the unknown is uniform. Now how do we solve it? Okay, pay attention. We are going to solve this using the elimination method. Okay, we are going to solve this using the elimination method. And how do we go about it? The first step is that you have to decide the unknown that you want to eliminate. You understand? You have to decide the unknown that you want to eliminate. Now we have two unknowns. We have the unknown p and unknown q. Which unknown should we eliminate? Okay, let us eliminate q. Okay, let us eliminate q. Now, having known the unknown that you want to eliminate, the next step is that you have to make the coefficient of both unknown to be the same. You understand? Please pay attention. Having known the unknown that you want to eliminate, in this case I'm eliminating q, you have to make the coefficient of the unknown that you want to eliminate in both equations to be the same. You understand? This is equation 1 and this is equation 2. The coefficient of q in equation 1 is what? 2. The coefficient of q in equation 2 is what? 3. Now I want to eliminate q. I'm going to make the coefficient of q in equation 1 and equation 2 to be the same. Now how do I do that? I'm going to multiply the coefficient of q in equation 2 by all the equation 1. Okay? It's simple. Pay attention. The first step is to decide the unknown that you want to eliminate. The second step is to make sure that the coefficient of the unknown that you want to eliminate is the same. Now I want to do that now. How do I do it? I'm going to multiply the first equation, which is equation 1, by the coefficient of q in equation 2. The coefficient of q in equation 2 is what? 3. So I'm going to have 3 multiplied by the whole equation 1. 3p plus 2q is equals to 7. You understand? So I'm going to have 9p. Are you paying attention? 3 times 3, that is what? 9p. Plus 3 times 2 is what? 6q. 6q. 3 times 7 is what? 21. So I got this equation. Are you paying attention? Let us call this equation 3. Do you understand? Okay. Now, then I'm going to multiply the coefficient. I'm going to multiply the whole equation 2 by the coefficient of q in equation 1. In that case, the coefficient will be the same. The coefficient of q in both equations will be the same. Now let's go. For this, I'm going to have the coefficient of q in equation 1 is what? 2. Please pay attention. It's simple. It's easy. Just pay attention. The coefficient of q in equation 1 is what? 2. So I'm going to have 2 multiplied by the whole equation 2. You understand? So I'm going to have 4p plus 3q equals to 10. Do you understand? So for this, I'm going to have 8p plus 6q is equals to 20. So let us call this equation 4. Now you can see that the coefficient of q in equation 3 and equation 4 is now the same. That is positive 6 and positive 6. Now I'm going to combine both equations. I'm going to have 9p plus 6q is equals to 21, and 8p plus 6q is equals to 20. Now, the questions are now the same. The next step here is that the signs are not the same. You understand? So, I'm going to subtract. You understand? If the signs are the signs are the same, I'm going to subtract. Don't forget, I told you when we have a simultaneous equation that have uniform coefficients, one of the unknown have uniform coefficient. If the signs are the same, we are going to what? Subtract. If the signs are different, we are going to add. Let's say I have positive 6q and negative 6q. I'm going to what? Add. You understand? But in order to eliminate this q, I have to subtract because the signs are positive. You understand? They are both positive. You understand? So I'm going to have, let us call this equation 4. Okay, equation 3 and equation 4. Okay. I'm going to put minus. Okay. So I'm going to have 9p minus 8p. Are you paying attention? 9p minus 8p, okay, plus 6q minus plus 6q, okay, minus plus 6q. 21 is equals to 21 minus 20. Minus 20, okay. Now let us proceed. 9p minus 8p, that will give us p, okay. P is also the same thing as 1p, you understand? So that will give us p. Let's proceed. Plus 6q minus plus 6q. Let me quickly do some arithmetic here. Plus 6q minus plus 6q. That will be plus 6q minus 6q. Because remember in our previous class, we learned the product of signs. You understand? When we multiply a negative sign, a number that has a negative sign and a number that has a positive sign, the result will be what? A negative. You understand? So that is why I have negative positive q minus 6q. Positive 6q minus 6q. That will give us what? 0. That means I've already eliminated this. You understand? I've already eliminated q. Now let's proceed. 21 minus 20. That will give us what? 1. That means that p is equals to 1. Do you understand? So now we have gotten the value of p as 1. Now how do we solve for q? It is easy. We just have to substitute the value of p as 1 into any of equation 1 or equation 2. Do you understand? Okay. Which equation should we use? Let's use equation 2. Okay. Now if you are using equation 2 is what? 4p plus 3q equals to 10. Okay. Now when p is equals to 1, p is equals to 1. That means I'm going to have 4 into bracket 1 plus 3q is equals to 10. Now 4 times 1 is 4. So I'm going to have 4 plus 3q is equals to 10. That means I'm going to have 3q is equals to 10. If this positive 4 crosses the equals to sign, it will change towards negative. So I'm going to have 10 minus 4. Okay. 3q is equals to 6. We are going to divide both sides by q. By 3, sorry. So I'm going to have this over 3 and this over 3. That means q is equals to 2. That is the answer to the question. So p is equals to 1 and q is equals to 2. Do you understand? Now I want to do something. Now I want to substitute the value of p in equation 1 and check. Maybe you are still going to arrive at q is equals to 2. Do you understand? Okay, that will be all for this class. If you have any question, let me know in the comment box. See you in the next class. To watch the next class, kindly check the description of this video. You are going to see a link there. Click on that link, or you should check the playlist on this channel. Okay, see you in the next class.